height at the end. One of the most important ones, obviously, is your distance. But how did it get there as well? How much carry did it have? How much rollouts? Well, we want to make sure that we are efficient with it. So you can see that this shot carries 291 yards, and if you looked at the screenshot I put up a few days ago, that my carry was about 239 yards. So big increase over the last few years, a big increase in distance, while still actually swinging similar speeds. So I was very inefficient before, and we're going to look at some other numbers here down the line that made me much more efficient in hitting the ball much further. So spin rate's very important as well. My spin rate used to be very high. The ball would climb up into the air, especially if there was any wind. It would just like be hitting the wall and then drop like a stone with absolutely no run on the ball. So 2,000 revs there is nice. It could go a little bit more. If you go too little, the ball won't stay in the air and just drop out of the sky with not enough carry on it. Face angle, path, very good. Attack angle, this is a big one. So my attack angle used to be very much down on the ball, about 4 degrees down. So on this one here, it was about 4 degrees and up on the upswing. So that means the club gets to the very bottom of the arc here, bottoms out, and then starts to collect the ball and compress it 4 degrees on the upswing. Now you can't play good golf from hitting on the downswing, but to really maximise distance, you want to have an ascending flow to the ball. And then couple that with dynamic loft. So see, dynamic loft on my driver at the point of impact was 14.5 degrees. What I see with people, and what I was previous, was about 20 or 21 degrees dynamic loft on my driver. So the ball isn't compressing or being squeezed into the driver face enough. For now it is, because I'm just showing 14 degrees instead of 20 degrees plus. And that's really getting that ball speed up, and it's flying out quite fast now. Get nice distance, nice compression, and it's not stalling in the wind. So very important numbers, couple them together, dynamic loft and attack angle, to really maximize distance. There's a couple other good numbers there to look at, like low point. So you can see 3.9 inches behind the ball, that's pretty good. You want maybe 2 to 4 degrees behind the ball for a driver. With the 7-iron, it's totally different. You want about 40 inches, sorry, I measured in inches, 4 inches after the ball to get maximum compression on the 7-iron. And then height at the end, 114 feet is pretty good for a driver as well. Generally, you want to see most close apex around the 100 feet mark. So interesting numbers there. Big changes to what I used to have compared to now, while still swinging similar swing speeds, but the ball is going 50 yards longer in the air because of dynamic loft and because of my angle of attack, making me a hell of a lot more efficient, a lot more distance, and even straighter as well. So keep an eye out for some videos of them. What I'm going to show you is how to improve these numbers yourself, what to be aware of. You can practice them at home, you can practice them in the range, building your swing knowledge, hitting the ball further. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube page, my Instagram, Twitter. We're going to be putting them up there. We'll find some social media for you that I'm sure you're on to really get these videos and get behind it and start hitting the ball a hell of a lot further. So we'll see you soon. Go back from the ball. And we're going to drag the club along the ground. A few tips on how to improve your angle of attack. Now, if you already have a good angle of attack, you should be able to complete this drill here, no problem at all. And what this one is that you're going to hit a golf ball without hitting the head cover on the ground in front of us. So, if you can do that drill there without hitting the head cover, then you don't need to improve your angle of attack. You might need to look at something like dynamic loft. But if you find that you are hitting this head cover, we want to tee the ball up and start doing a few easy drills. So what you're going to do is put the tee about 7 inches or so behind the head cover. And you're going to hit a few shots, nice and easy starting off with, trying to miss that head cover. So our club is bottoming it out before the golf ball and then hitting the ball on the ascent. Another great way of doing that is if you tee the golf ball up. So by teeing the ball up, we can do a lovely drill where we drag the club along the ground to help our shoulder movement through impact. So if you set up as normal, put the club a little bit inside the target line, about 2 foot back from the ball, and we're going to drag the club along the ground and then miss it and finish it out here. So it won't feel like a whole lot is going on, but it's really improving how your right shoulder works into impact. And it's also improving our path. So generally people who are a little bit too much out to in tend to be quite steep and cutty across the ball. With this drill here where we drag it along the ground, slightly from inside the target line here, we're really going to feel that right shoulder working down missing the ball on the way through. It's a really good one to improve the angle of attack. You can either hit balls with the head cover down, or if you're already good at that, we can work on this right shoulder. Try and miss that head cover, or try and drag that club along the ground up and over. So that's the first stage in trying to get that angle of attack better to hitting longer shots.